So good day again, and thanks to TopSport, we're doing another Group 1 preview, and we're going to have a look at the Underwood Stakes at Caulfield on Saturday. I've got Trevor Lawson on the line again. How you going, Trev?
Good, Mark.
The Underwood over 1,800 metres at Caulfield. It's generally, for a couple of years now, I think, been on Grand Final weekend, so it's been on the Sunday. But with the footy pushed back, it gets Saturday slot back, which is good.
It's a good day.
The 1,800 at Caulfield. Map-wise, is there much to note here? Is there much speed on?
Not a lot of speed. Well, sort of not on paper. It could be, but I thought Gallo Chop will go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Trap for Fools is back over from the west, so it likes to roll forward. Lavendi will sit handy. Arcadia Queen from an inside barrier can settle a bit closer.
Yep.
Harbour Views I thought would have to push forward. Russian Camel, I've sort of mapped him wide. Last start he sat 4 wide the whole way.
I was going to say, he generally likes being wide.
I think he'll push for. I don't think he'd want to go back behind Sosi Bon because then he'd sort of have nothing to cut him into the race. So I think he'll go forward. If they go slow, he could sit wide. It wouldn't bother me. It's just all about how they sort of settle. So I've sort of mapped him sort of wide. Sosi Bon's Humidor. The chosen one, and Mr. Quickie, I thought from the barrier had to go back to last.
No worries. The track at Caulfield. We're a couple of days out. It's Thursday afternoon. We're recording, but I don't think we're expecting any terrible weather, are we, at this stage?
Well, only after Friday night. So, as we said on the previous preview, we'll just see. So, I mean, at the moment, they've got 8 to 15 mil tomorrow, and then 3 to 6 on Saturday.
Okay.
But I mean, the city and sort of where we are, sometimes can miss it, and it gets down lower. So it's just a wait and see. It's just Russian roulette. I've sort of said on the previous preview that Flemington the other week was supposed to get 30 and they got 3 or something. So. Until it comes, we'll just sort of, see what it is. I mean, if it does come, then, the Barrett, like Russian Camelot sit wide would be, by that time, have no effect anyway. You'd probably want to be there. So
yep.
It wouldn't be a penalty. But we'll sort of just see what happens.
No worries. All right, we might look through the market. It's obviously all about Russian Camelot. It's all the rage, and there's another couple reasonably short in the market, and then quite a few out at long odds. So we'll run through them and have a look. Number one is Gallo Chop, which is $81 with TopSport at the moment, and probably been quite a while since we've seen his best.
He got beat 7 lengths the other day. Now he's, it's a 10-year-old. It's hard to see it sort of firing here.
No worries. Number 2 is the Humidor, the last start winner who jumped out of the ground at the Valley. $13 with TopSport at the moment. Yeah,
it's hard to know. I didn't like it the other day at all. Like it had 3 runs in Perth and hadn't fired at all. The previous prep, so Kieran Marr basically hadn't fired at all. But when it went back through its form, sort of back to when we had it, it never really put 2 runs together.
Okay.
So in the first prep he had it and won the Australian Cup as 4th up. Then it went, then it had enough, obviously. The next prep, it won 3rd up. It won the Maccabi Diva, 3rd up, produced a massive figure that day, and then basically went to the Turnbull and got beat 7 lengths the next start.
Yep.
And then went to the Caulfield Cup, and then bounced back in the Cox Plate, produced its biggest figure ever. Like, if it produced anywhere near that figure, it'd be $1.02 here.
Yeah.
And then the next prep, sort of similar, like he sort of resumed, didn't do much, and then he won, it might be the Blamey, I think, at Flemington, and then went backwards, and then went back up again, and then Next prep again, he won second up. He won the Memsey second up, and then basically next up went back to getting beaten 3.5 lengths, and then bounced back again. So
almost seems a little bit predictably unpredictable.
Well, I think he just might be that type of horse. He's that they can't hold him at the same place the whole time. So he runs to it, and then he needs a rest. He needs to lie down. So he basically has a rest for a couple of runs. Nothing untoward in that sort of comment, and then he can sort of bounce back. So this is the best figure he's done on my scale, first up since the Cox Plate in 2018. Okay. So he was $22. He wasn't on the Betfair. He wasn't really fancy, even though he was sort of solid. So so I sort of rated him down off that and was happy to risk him. And I think the market may oppose him. The wet track would help him if it got wet. So at the moment, I've sort of marked him 20s, and it was sort of hard to see him winning, I thought.
No worries. Number 3 is Trap for Fools, $71 with TopSport at the moment.
Yes, so been a good horse to us over the years, but running in sort of lesser grade races. It's a while since he's sort of, really fired. We were sort of backing him back in 2018. He's had, he sort of had 3 runs in the autumn of 2019. They were well spaced. And then he had 203 days off. And now he's first up after 154 days. So basically he's had one run since the 5th of October last year.
Yeah, right.
He did trial nicely, but I just thought, no. I thought he'd want my racing, marked him 50-1. He is longer than that. So, by the time I tied it up, I'll mark him longer. I didn't want to be on him at all.
No worries. Speaking of being marked long, number 4, Lavendi, $101 at the moment.
Yeah, he's a former AJC Derby winner, but he got beat 5 lengths first up. That's about as, you may improve off that, but I thought it'd be indictment on the horses if it could win.
No worries. The 5 is Sosi Bond, $19 with TopSport.
He was okay the other day. 1800's a little query. I haven't taken anything off yet. I probably will take something off. I was just sort of wanted to get a bit closer to the meeting. At the moment, I'm marked in 20s. He's sort of $19, but I'll finish up probably marking him longer.
No worries. 6 is Mr. Quickie, who's $7.50 at the moment with TopSport.
Yeah, he was good first up over 1400 behind Behemoth. He ran on good from the back. He's on my scale returned 61. He basically is that type of horse. He did 63.5, but that's in the race at Gadding 1 yard last year where they ran an unbelievable figure. So basically what he did last start's about what he does. And he is going to go back to last. He's going to be last, I think. So I thought he was a risk at the price.
Yep.
Marked him longer, sort of marked him $12.
No worries. 7 is The Chosen One, $11 with TopSport.
One first up at big odds in a handicap. But he's been a good horse. He actually won the Herbert Power last year over 2400, and then didn't have much luck in the Caulfield Cup, had to go back to last. He does love wet tracks. He wasn't fancied all the other day. He was $29 on Betfair and open handicap, comes to Group 1 here. I've basically rated him what he did last start and marked him $20.
No worries. 8 is Harbour Views, $10 at the moment.
Yeah, he's sort of not a horse of mine, never really been a horse of mine, but He rated 61 the other day, had every possible chance behind Humidor.
Yep.
I think he can get every possible chance here. I'm not sure if he can go any better than that. I think they had him wound up first up. So, I mean, I've got him $13, and that's just, he's around that price. But, if I wasn't on him, I'd be happy not being on him.
No worries. And the 9 is Arcadia Queen, who's $4.20 with TopSport. Possibly a little bit of money coming already too.
Yeah, it's a hard horse to mark.
Yeah.
She won the Kingston Town, I think it is, in Ascot, returned 65.
Yeah.
She won first up in my scale, returned 65. So, and then basically went 3 lengths worse in the Everest, then 3 lengths worse, resumed, went like 4.5 lengths worse, and then last start went 4 lengths under what she could do. I was just talking to Cameron O'Brien, our other man, earlier today, and he made a good point that basically being a mare, she can't take the substance that they take. I think it's to stop them going into season.
Yep.
It's banned in Victoria, and so she's been able to take it in Perth, and she's been able to take it in Sydney.
Yeah.
So, mate, I'm just sort of then just decided that I'd just treat her as this prep ratings, off that. She ran second to Pretty Brazen the other day. I would have thought Pretty Brazen had no hope in this race whatsoever.
Yep.
She ran on okay. Basically, sectionally wise, she ran home in 33.3, 22.2 and 11.3 at Flemington. On the same day, Russian Camelot basically ran similar figures. Sorry, 33.1, 22 and 11.2 she ran. Basically, Russian Camelot ran, a length to a length and a bit slower than it, and it sat 4 wide in its race.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've stepped her, but I haven't stepped her as much as I think the market has. So I've got a $9.50. Until she, shows something. She's going from a Group 2 mares race to a Group 1 open handicap. So
yep.
I was happy to go around it this time.
No worries. And, the 10 is Russian Camelot, the favourite. $1.90, pretty steady at that price at the moment in the market. Do you think, have you or can you get it down that short?
Can't get that quite that short. I've got $2.40, but that's 85%. So,
yeah.
I mean, if I change my market, so TopSport 125%. If I change my market to 125%, I got him at $1.63.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you're sort of building in the market. Actually, Cam and I talked about this horse as well. I think I might have said last time in, we just don't know with this horse. It's just untapped. But you can't just sort of pluck a figure out of the air and go along, give it that figure. You sort of have rules that you do your form by and stick by it. So that sort of keep you in good stead. So this horse, on my scale, did 62.5 at Morpheville. He did 62 the other day. But, he may finish up a 67, 68. He might have 4 lengths up his sleeve by the time he's finished this prep.
Yeah.
But we just don't know. He sat 4 wide the other day. I think he ran up to win and then he just peaked late. He was just narrowly beaten by Fierce Impact, which is a good, consistent type horse. It ran its figure. He beat the rest pretty easy. He gets out in trip here. I've stepped him off that. Basically what I do, stepped him 1 length off that, and I've got him $2.40. I'd like, I think even money is just a bit short, but I wouldn't want to bet. I won't be betting in the race around it.
Don't want to bet against him.
I can either be on him or just watch the race. But as you just got other horses in the market at the moment, which I'll probably finish up marking slightly longer. But I think he's a pretty good horse. And
Yeah, well, both of those runs, the one in Adelaide as well, that was the Group 1. He was very wide there from memory too. And
yeah. Well, he won.
down the outside.
Yeah, so I think he missed a run. So he ran at Flemington, didn't have any luck. He missed the start 3 lengths. And then I think he went to Caulfield, and then he was a late scratching at the barrier. So then he went, might have been after that. And then he went to Pakenham. He missed a run, and he went to, I think he missed a run, then he went to Pakenham and just treated, they were no good, but he treated content. He won by 7 lengths.
Yeah.
And then I think he missed a run at late scratching. And he basically went from 1,600 to 2,500 metres in the Derby off a 30-day break.
Yeah.
And he'd had 33 days off before that. And as you say, just sat wide the whole way and cantered him and beat Dulson easily, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other day, I think it was a good sign that Oliver obviously got a very big opinion of it, because he went forward the other day. He wasn't going back to last. He was happy, you know, and he was a bit stiff, you know, you'd think, he might get caught 3 wide. Well, he basically got caught 4 wide with no cover the entire. So that's why I think he sort of might half press on here as well. You know, he's going to the Cox Plate, supposedly. I wouldn't have thought any other horse here could win the Cox Plate. So you don't like to sort of, excuse me, do it off that. But this horse has got, potential. You know, he's got, you know, he can progress. So we'll sort of just see how he goes. But you know, hopefully he turns out to be a good horse, because it'd be good for the industry.
Yeah, it looks like a very good horse. So, yeah, as you said, he's really the only one you'd want to be on. But, yeah, you're going to want him at a bit of a better price than $1.90 at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, you know, we basically, you know, at the moment, probably the only play I'll really have just from itself is I'll be laying Arcadia Queen. So,
yeah, okay.
And have the rest run for me. But, yeah, unless he sort of gets out.
Yep.
But generally what happens, they don't really get out that much. You know, they go up that price Wednesday. Nothing really happens unless there's a potted or the conditions, you know, something happens with a bias or something like that. So, but, yeah, as I say, I'll probably mark a couple others longer, but I wouldn't really think I'd get it even money. I might get it 225 or something like that. But
no worries. Sounds good. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for that, Trev. Yeah, so we've got a couple this week. We've got the Moyer Stakes Friday night, which we've previewed as well, and then the Underwood on Saturday, and we'll jump straight back into it next week. So we'll talk to you then.
Great, thanks, Mark.
Cheers.